You remember this face, Tom Poston, and it makes no difference what age you are to remember this face. Without being indelicate about it, the everyman on the street with Steve Allen continues to be, in the memories of so many of us, one of the great things on TV. What about that role for you? Tell us how that all started, would you, with Steve?
Seriously?
Yes, well, absolutely.
I had done nightclubs with Jerry Matthews at a time when Gabe Dell was on the bill. And his act had been written by Stan Burns and Herb Sargent, and while he was on, I wasn't, so I would spend time with these two crazy guys that were writers, and we became friends, and then our paths diverged again, and we went on to separate things, and I was the host of a daytime television show in New York called Entertainment, and it was a variety show with comedy and so forth. And these two crazy guys were now working for Steve Allen as writers. Another crazy guy, and they would watch my show in the afternoon, and if there was anything good on it, they would steal it and put it on Steve's show that night. So that's the way to keep a friendship going, I think, don't you? And so when Steve was going to expand his Man on the Street segment with performers instead of, like he used to use the stage manager, little Marilyn with the dark eyes that looked like this. She was a stage manager, and she just came in and did that. And Skitch Henderson would be one of the characters on the street, and Gene Rayburn, who was the announcer, and so forth. But they wanted to use, and then Louie Nye would always
What was his name on that segment, the name he always gave?
Gordon Hathaway.
That's right. That's right.
From Manhattan.
And when you guys would break Steve up, sometimes that was even the best part, to hear that wild laughter ringing through that set.
Well, without going too long-winded, which I think I probably am, just to finish that, well, they were going to expand that segment, and they asked me to come in, and unbeknownst to me, they were talking about the Man on the Street. And Stan wasn't there, but Herb said, "What could you do on the Steve Allen show?" So I said, "Well, I'll need a good, strong, straight man." And he looked at me kind of funny and said, "Well, Steve will be the straight man." And I thought, that's interesting. Steve is going to be straight for me. It's his show. Well, okay. And he said, "So what could you do?" So I tried to illustrate what I was thinking of doing, and I couldn't think of an illustration. So my conversation went something like this. Well, for instance, we were sitting across a desk from each other, and I said, say we came into a restaurant. No, we're lying in a all right. We'll be coming down from, and I was trying to think of a graphic illustration of what I wanted to do with Steve as a straight man and a silly man, and I couldn't think of anything specific. But I was getting into the character.
Yes.
And he finally got impatient with me not saying anything and said, "Oh, well, forget all that. Look, you're standing there on the street. The camera comes up on you in a tight close-up like this." And he went like this. And he says, "Here's our next man on the street. What is your name, sir?" And he goes like this to me. Well, I was in character enough to make him laugh by pretending I couldn't think of my name.
And I wonder if we could stay in that character when we talk about the Bob Newhart show. I'll be Steve.
Right.
You're the man on the street.
Right.
You, sir, we're taking a poll about the Bob Newhart show, the role Tom Poston has in it. What is your name? What is your opinion about this?
I don't know why you're asking me. I don't have a poll.
Well, who is this person, Tom Poston?
My uncle was a Pole.
Well, what about a post?
Post hole. Pole hole.
Well, sir, let's back up and try again. Who's this Bob Newhart fella?
Bob Newhart? Bob Newhart. I've helped him all I can. And when I first met Bob, he was a tiny little Oriental woman lying in the gutter, about 86 years old, drunk.
Pretty bad.
I pulled him to I got him on his feet, I got him started, I gave him a whole new, and he's...
Not to mention a hole in the ground.
I'm kind of proud of him. I'm proud of the way he turned out. He's got a family of his own.
Well, I understand this fella, Tom Poston, has a future going for him, too.
Yes. He certainly has a past. John, do you do a lot of this kind of thing in Kansas City?
I love it. In fact, while we're talking about Kansas City, we love your show just like everybody else does. Our viewers there for KCTV would love to maybe get a personalized, engraved invitation to see you on the Bob Newhart Show.
Well, you certainly have that. And I'll see you every year when I go back there and do P.D. Marshall's tournament with Pete Lecoq, his son, and beautiful daughter-in-law, and their children for the Ronald McDonald House. And I'll see all my pals out there at Brookfield,
Brookridge.
Brookridge, something. It's the golf course where we play the Peter Marshall golf tournament every year. And it's a lot of fun, and I have a lot of pals there. Hiya, gang. I'll be seeing you.
Now that's New Poston, or Tom Post, or Post Hole, or
Pole.
Tom Poston.
Hey, thanks,
Thank you so
Joe.
much.
Thank you.
And from Los
I
Angeles for
certainly enjoyed
KCTV.
this. It was a real...
He's the man on the street, and so am I.